and welcome to Wild Heart Yoga Holistic Healing for today's Yin Yoga therapy class. Today I have for you a class that is intended to get into our deepest layers of fascia and connective tissue in order to help regulate the nervous system, release stored emotional energy, and also help manage chronic pain. So for this class today, you won't need any props, so just grab your mat, jump in something comfy, and let's hop into today's class.
Hello and welcome to today's Yin Yoga therapy class. Let's begin today by just finding the easy seat at the center of the mat. While we're here, let's take a few moments to begin to check in with ourselves. So wherever you're at, take an inhale as you lengthen through the spine. And exhale, allow the shoulders to drop down and away from the ears. As we're here, scan through the body. Notice anything that's happening for you in this moment. Any particular areas of stiffness or tension. Notice the state of your mind and emotions. Just noticing anything that's coming up for you, anything that's present right now without engaging in it, without allowing those thoughts or emotions to have control over you. Just notice them without judgment, and then shift that awareness back to the breath. Inhaling deep into the low belly, and exhale, let it all go, releasing anything that isn't serving you in this moment. Again, let's inhale, fill that low belly, and exhale, letting it all go. Continue like this on your own. Not only is the practice of awareness on the breath beneficial for helping to be an anchor for our focus and attention during the practice, but it also can be important to help regulate the nervous system and downregulate the stress response, which is often hand in hand with pain, especially chronic pain. So this slow and controlled breath can help us to release more tension and resistance from the body, so that gravity can take us a little deeper into the pose as well. So I'd invite you now to set the intention of staying focused on this breath throughout this practice today. To inhale mindfully through the nose and exhale fully. Take just a few more moments here before we get started with our asanas for today. All right, my friends, when you are ready, gently invite the eyelids to open once again. We're going to begin our first pose of the day, which is butterfly pose. So let's bring the soles of the feet together, finding a tall sitting position here. Maybe that means sitting on the edge of a pillow or folded blanket. Go ahead and grab the ankles or the feet. Begin to just rock side to side or forward or back a little bit, taking some really small micro adjustments to just notice how this pose is feeling on the hips, the low back. And let's inhale again, lengthening through the spine. With your exhale, begin to fold from the hips, maintaining that flat back as far as you can. And if you have any low back pain, then just go as far as you can with that flat back, of course listening to your body. If you're ready to go a little deeper, then let's inhale again, lengthening through the spine one more time. With your exhale, begin to melt forward, allowing the chest and forehead to reach toward the mat. Now, if this feels really intense in the groin, try moving those feet away from the body a little bit. Or if you want to go deeper, move those heels in. Taking any micro adjustments you need here to find those unique areas of tension in your body. It's perfectly okay if your pose doesn't look exactly like mine does today. This practice is all about functional alignment, not aesthetic alignment. So this is a space to meet yourself where you're at with compassion, to tune inward, to listen to the wisdom of the body, to really listen to what it needs, what it's asking for, and to honor that. So once you find your edge, those unique areas of tension, then settle into the stillness here, returning that awareness and attention back to the breath. Inhaling through the nose, filling that low belly space. And exhaling slowly and fully, releasing tension. With your next inhale, imagine drawing that oxygen into those areas of stiffness or pain. As you exhale, imagine it melting out of the body as you relax deeper into the pose. We have about a minute left here, so I will leave you now to take this time to go inward, to dwell in this blissful stillness. All right, with your next exhale, go ahead and gently roll the spine back up, one vertebrae at a time. Now we're simply going to extend our left leg, keeping the right leg bent in toward the thigh. Now let's inhale as we reach the right arm up overhead. As you exhale, begin to slowly bend to the left. Right arm is reaching overhead as we open through those intercostal muscles, those muscles between the ribs, the side body, maybe even feeling this in the shoulder or the hip or low back. Inhale deeply into the belly and exhale fully and slowly. If it's more comfortable, you're welcome to allow the hand to rest behind the head. As we're bending here, think about opening the chest up toward the sky. So we want to be more open instead of falling over that leg. Take an inhale, fill that belly up. And exhale, maybe open that chest a little deeper. Perhaps bend a little further if the body allows. Of course, not forcing it. Simply accepting where you're at today. We have less than a minute here, so once again I'll leave you some space to find that meditative state of mind. Great job. When you're ready, go ahead and release that top arm as you slowly find a neutral position once more. And we're going to just switch the legs, so now we're extending the right leg. Left foot is pulled in toward the thigh. Take a moment here, maybe even pausing the video if you need a little bit longer to allow the spine to re-neutralize before we move to the other side. But if you're ready, let's inhale as we reach the left arm overhead this time. And with your exhale, begin to slowly bend to the right now. Left arm reaching overhead, maybe resting that hand behind the scalp. Inhaling deeply, exhaling slowly. Noticing any differences in the right and the left side in this pose, becoming aware of those imbalances in your body. If the mind has begun to wander, simply notice any thoughts that come up, especially any patterns in thoughts, and then simply usher your awareness back to the breath without judgment. Just simply notice, and then respond by coming back to where you left off, back to that anchor of the breath. All right, with your next exhale, release that top arm, slowly finding that neutral position with your spine again. And in your own time, make your way onto your back for a rebound. So we're simply gently tucking the shoulder blades down and back, arms at the sides, palms facing up. As you're here, scan through the body, feeling the echo of the pose. Maybe this feels like an increase of circulation in any body areas, perhaps a gentle tingling or buzzing. Notice any changes in state of mind or emotions. And then come to the breath once more. All right, in your own time, gently turn onto your left side, then meet me seated at the back of your mat for our next pose, which is our caterpillar pose. So with our legs extended ahead of us, we first want to make sure that we have a straight spine here, and maybe that means sitting on the edge of a pillow or folded blanket, something to help tilt your hips a little bit so that it's easier to maintain that flat low back. Once you found that position, let's inhale, lengthen through the spine again. And exhale, begin to fold from the hips with that flat back first. Once again, maintaining the flat back, staying there if you have any low back pain. If you want to go further, let's take another inhale. And as you exhale, allow the chest and forehead to fall forward, reaching toward the shins. Arms can be resting next to the legs, maybe reaching around the feet or ankles. But as you're here, try to find a relaxed state, releasing any tension or resistance in the body that you don't need to hold yourself in this pose. Let go so that gravity can take you a little deeper, falling you into a deeper state of surrender. Come back to that breath, Inhale. Imagine that breath drawing into those areas of tension, the hamstrings, the low back. And exhale, let it go, surrendering here, letting go of anything that isn't serving you in this moment. Any thoughts or worries. Simply allowing yourself to be fully present here. Everything else can wait. This moment here is important to honor your mind and your body, to bring balance to your days. Most of us live in a very yang-dominated society where we have high expectations, high goals and standards. We're working a lot, and often many of us feel guilty about slowing down and being still. But this is how we can actually have sustainable energy, by taking the time to allow our nervous systems to reset, to regulate, to give our minds space for clarity instead of thinking all the time in our conscious minds, those ego minds. So thank yourself for being here right now. You're doing a wonderful thing for your mind and body. Just a little bit longer in this pose. With your next exhale, gently begin to roll the spine back up one vertebrae at a time. And once again, find your way onto your back for another short rebound. Gently tucking the shoulder blades down and back, palms facing up. And feel the echo of the pose here. Okay, now in your own time, gently just turn yourself over onto your stomach for our next pose, which is our Sphinx pose. So let's have those elbows aligned just beneath the shoulders. The palms are flat against the mat ahead of you. Inhale as you open the chest, looking up, head is tall, lengthen through the spine. And exhale, allow the shoulders to drop down and away from the ears. Scan through the body now, noticing any area still holding on to tension. Relax the glutes, the feet and ankles, the legs. Relax any other areas in the body you notice holding on to tension. You may continue to look ahead with the head, or if you prefer, you can allow the head to drop forward, going a little deeper into the neck and the shoulders. If this feels a little too intense for you, try placing a pillow or a bolster under the chest, behind the arms, so that you can rest onto that a bit easier. If you would like to go deeper into the low back, try bringing the heels of the feet up towards the glutes. You also have the option of extending the arms, taking a seal pose if you want to bend a little bit deeper through the back. But if you do decide to go deeper, be sure to move slowly, allowing the body to move at its own speed. Let's come back to that breath once again, inhaling into the Dantian, belly rising. And exhale fully. letting all the breath out of the lungs. As you inhale, feel how that expands in you like a balloon, maybe expanding through those areas of stiffness. And as you exhale, notice how at the bottom of the breath, how the muscles tend to relax. Continue with the breathing on your own again. We have 1 minute left. All right, with your next exhale, slowly allow that chest to fall back down towards the mat. And in your own time, make your way onto your back for another rebound. Finding that neutral position with the spine, palms facing up. If you have any low back pain, think about pulling in that low stomach so that low back is pressing closer to the mat. Maybe even bringing the knees up, planting the feet on the mat if you need to. Alright, go ahead and bring the knees up now to a 90-degree angle. Cactus the arms at your sides. Take an inhale. As you exhale, allow the knees to begin to drop to the left as you look over your right shoulder, taking a lying spinal twist here. Maybe moving the knees closer toward the chest to take this a bit deeper, or further away to make it a little easier. Inhale deeply, drawing that breath, that fresh oxygen into the spinal cord. And exhale fully and slowly, letting go of tension, maybe twisting a little deeper if the body allows. Since we are nearing the end of our practice, I'm going to leave you a little extra time in silence to go inward and focus on that meditative state of mind. We have less than 2 minutes left on this side. right, when you're ready, go ahead and return the knees back to neutral, untwisting the spine. Taking a moment here as you inhale. And with your exhale, in your own time, begin to allow the legs to drop to the right now as you look over the left shoulder. Being sure that both shoulders are staying grounded to the mat here. And if this is a little too intense, maybe put a pillow or something under those knees so it's not quite as deep of a twist. As you're here, scan through the body. Simply notice any imbalances between this side and the first side. Becoming more aware of your own body. Strengthening your sense of interoception. It can be really common for those who have experienced trauma and are in more of that numbed, dissociative state to experience a loss of interoception, loss of ability to really be aware of what's happening in their body. So this practice is a great way to help regulate that nervous system. There are shared neurobiological pathways and overlapping symptoms of both mental health struggles and chronic pain. And so this creates a complex and interconnected relationship between the two. And so that's why this practice is titled as it is. It is aimed toward management for chronic pain, as well as boosting the mood. Of course, the more you practice this, the more you release that fascia and stored emotional energy, the more you'll see benefits from this practice over time. 5 minutes a day is far more beneficial than an hour once a week. So keep that in mind as you move forward. About a minute left on this side. All right, when you are ready, go ahead and bring the legs back up again, then extending them to the ground, finding our final Savasana. Perhaps slightly lifting the hips and rolling the spine down one vertebrae at a time to make sure it's nice and neutralized. Gently tuck the shoulder blades down and back. Palms are facing up. And begin to scan through the body, feeling the echo of this practice. Sensing in the feet, the ankles, lower legs, knees, thighs, hips, pelvis, glutes and sacrum, through the torso and the side bodies, the chest, shoulders, upper arms, elbow, lower arm, wrists, scanning up from the low back, middle back, and the space between the shoulder blades, the neck, and relaxing every small facial muscle, the eyes, the scalp of the head. Inhaling as the belly rises. Exhale slowly, imagining your body sink a centimeter deeper into your mat. Inhale, filling the belly. And exhale, relaxing deeper. I'd encourage you to stay in your Shavasana even longer today if you have time. But if you're ready to move on with your day, then begin to invite some gentle movement back into the fingers and the toes. Maybe keep the eyes closed a little while longer as you make your way onto your right side, and meet me seated for our final closing breaths together. Let's take an inhale as we reach the arms overhead, stretching the body, waking it back up a little bit. And exhale, hands to prayer, heart center. One more time, inhale, reaching the arms overhead. And exhale, hands to prayer, as you simply acknowledge yourself for taking the time to honor your mind and body in this way today. Thank you so much for choosing to practice with me today. I really hope you found this class beneficial and that maybe brought you some greater peace of mind, boosted mood, or a little bit of relief for some pain or discomfort. If you did enjoy this class, then please do me a huge favor. Be sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe to stay up to date with all of my latest classes. Those are the two easiest and free ways that you can support this channel. Yoga is a very competitive topic on YouTube, so I really appreciate all of the support in whatever ways you guys choose to show that. Thank you again for choosing to practice with me today, and I will see you soon, my friends. Namaste.